I clearly wore red today, and the reason was because it's in solidarity with women's rights movement and to raise awareness, because yesterday was International Women's Day. And I have to tell you, the first time I looked it up today, I said, I want to have the right words. And it didn't come up. Like, the colors for International Women's Day were purple, green, and yellow. And I'm like, oh no. And then I go and look it up again, and I got a different definition. I like this one better, so that's why I'm wearing red today, in solidarity for women's rights and everything that we have done, and to acknowledge what we're still doing out there. So the theme for this month is, I am intentional. I move through my days with deliberate intention. And I thought that was a great opening for my talk, which is Keeping a True Lent, which is the title of a book that Charles Fillmore wrote. But what exactly does that mean? First of all, and this is open for your answers, what does Lent mean to you, if anything?
Preparation.
No meat. Who said preparation?
Me.
Okay. Anybody else?
Letting go.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, it's the 40 days before Easter, and it holds a lot of potential for a lot of people. You know, Lent is a church tradition of purification. In the Christian religion, these 40 days before Easter are symbolic of the 40 days that Jesus spent fasting in the desert. But that fast in the desert was actually not anywhere near Easter time. They just use it symbolically for us to prepare for what Jesus is about to do, and symbolically what we are to be doing for our Christ consciousness. Lent is to prepare Christians for Easter by reflecting on Jesus' death and resurrection, practicing self-discipline. Growing up Catholic, we abstained from eating on Ash Wednesday. It was a day of complete fast. And then also on Good Friday. And every Friday during Lent, we did not eat meat. We only could eat fruit, vegetables, and fish. Which, as a kid, I didn't like fish, so I wasn't eating that. Oh, tuna fish. I think I had tuna fish. But you had to give up some food that you really enjoyed, because it supposedly blocked out your relationship with God, and it also was to show honoring what Jesus did for you. Now, pre-Christianity, Easter was a pagan holiday celebrating goddess Astera. She was celebrated during the spring equinox, which will be celebrated here on March 30th at 7 o'clock. If you want to join us, please register. And she was honored for renewal, rebirth, fertility, balance, and coming into spring. The spring equinox is always around the same time as Easter, because Easter, I did not know this, Easter is based on the spring equinox. Easter is always celebrated the first Sunday after the first full moon following the spring equinox. So that's why the date fluctuates every year. Now, equinox means equal time, equal moments in daytime and nighttime, just like the fall equinox. The only thing is, the day after the spring equinox, our days are getting longer. Yay! So, the cosmic connection between the spring equinox and Easter, or the crucifixion, death, and resurrection of Jesus, can't be missed. They follow the rhythm of nature and point to more light, either literally or through Christ, or the Christ mind, or the highest consciousness within us. So it's a way to celebrate the spring equinox, is planting seeds. And you can honor Lent by striking a balance in your life. So we've got your true Lent. The point is, your true Lent could be very different than the next person's true Lent, right? So it could be a process of literally planting seeds for a garden to grow vegetables. Or it can be planting seeds within your mind for what you want. You can also honor Lent by striking a balance in your life, saying, you're going to spend as much time living prayerfully and joyfully and playfully and gratefully and mindfully and soulfully as possible, while balancing that with your work and your life and your teachings and your going to school and whatever else you have going on. Striking a balance is actually an ideal. The celebrations of the calendar are reminders that our spiritual longings can be met by following the rhythms of nature. Each season we have an opportunity to set new intentions and to honor them in sacred ritual, and that's what we'll be doing Thursday night, the 20th. Spring is a time of rebirth, rejuvenation, resurrection, and sacred promise. It rises out of the darkness, just like Jesus did, leaving a wake for new life. Spring is a season of hope and renewal and the miracle of returning life. Lent at Unity is an inward journey, not so much for the outer showing of giving something up, but for examining our own thoughts and beliefs, seeing what is there and what might be limiting us, what we might need to let go of. Maybe it's a false idea about ourselves or about others. Maybe it's the possibilities for us and what we can do in our lives. There is some real wallop in giving up something like that, a limiting idea about ourselves. Charles Fillmore said, "Refrain from error thinking and meditate on truth. Deny out of consciousness old error thoughts, as if I were gently sweeping away cobwebs. I rid my consciousness of limited thoughts that have encumbered and darkened my understanding, that have burdened us, and that have been in the way of clear thinking of who we are." It's a spring cleaning of the mind. I don't know if any of you do spring cleaning. I know my mother did every year. I not so much, but I do it of my mind almost every day. So how do we do that? We become aware, and we pay attention, and we become mindful of our thoughts and our beliefs. So ask, what ideas are limiting me? What ideas can I untangle from a pattern thinking that is no longer serving me? So I was listening to Martha Creek, who is one of my favorite teachers of Unity. She was actually the person who led our licensed Unity teacher retreat that we did last year. And she had some, I thought, were great ideas. She quoted, one of her quotes was from this woman, Joan Chitlist. And she said, "Lent is a call to renew a commitment grown dull, perhaps by lives more marked by routine than reflection." So taking this opportunity to go in and reflect and contemplate. Martha also got a list from the Pope. She said she didn't fact check it, but I said, "Oh, this sounds good. I'm gonna after I read it, I said, I'll use it." But she said, "Fast from hurting words and speaking only kind words." Where do you usually react to people who may have hurt you with words? Their pain is being expressed in their words. You don't have to retaliate with hurtful words. Fast from pessimism and dial up hope. This also means holding the people who are pessimistic. So just because I'm giving up pessimism doesn't mean that the people around me will be. So I have to hold them in light and love. I'm struck because there are times I think things won't work out for me. See the difference between the proof we have for things working out and not working out, and finding the balance. I don't know about you, but I could always find that story of how things didn't work out, instead of remembering all the amazing times that things worked out, even better than I thought they could have. Here's another one. This one's going to be an Easter miracle if we could do it, okay? Fast from complaining. Get more simple. The power and potential of the simplicity in every situation. To fast from giving an opinion on anything. That's going to be a real struggle for me. I might not choose to do that one. No, I'm only kidding. But how much simpler could life be, right? Know that even though I'm not complaining, others may not have joined me. And so I have to be careful to not complain about the complainers, right? Not judge the judgers. Fast from pressures and increase prayerfulness. We live under a great deal of pressure, emotional, physical, losses, changes, human suffering. Be mindful not to take on pressures that are not yours. Change what you can and know what you cannot. Praying relieves pressure. The pressure loses its power when we pray. There's actually an expression I heard is, if you worry, why pray? If you pray, why worry? So try to remember that. Fast from selfishness and have more compassion to self and others. I've been seen as selfish many years ago, that's what my family, I got labeled the selfish one. So how I took that, how I handled that was I became very codependent. My life meant nothing, and it was all about what everybody else did and wanted, and I contorted myself to be what they wanted, or at least what I thought they wanted. Sometimes I didn't even ask. I just made an assumption as what somebody else wanted. Got me in a lot of trouble for a long time. And so what came from that was now I ask lots of questions, which frustrates some people sometimes, but I don't care. I'd rather know the truth and get clarity than make assumptions. Be cautious of compassion fatigue for those that are helpers wanting to change the world, like mothers and teachers and social workers and ministers. Accept what we cannot change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That was the serenity prayer that Reverend Arlene just spoke about a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it was last week. Fast from grudges and dial up reconciliation. This was another thing I happened to see on Facebook. I don't know if there was a picture of the Pope. I don't know if he actually said it, but he said, people want to give up meat and give up sweets and everything, but they're still not talking to their brothers and sisters, or they're separating their kids from their parents. It's like, get back to what we're really talking about and do the inward journey and see what it is yours to do. This is a devotion, though, to give that up. It's a devotion. Untangle yourself from these binds, because we can't be at peace while having a grudge or resentment. We can't be in clarity of mind or a divine mind and hold a grudge. Reconciliation is not just a catchphrase, it's work. Here's another one I'm going to have a hard time with. Fast from talking. Do more listening. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for that person, right? For that purpose. 1 mouth, 2 ears. Listen more. Now, another author that Martha referred to was Jerry Scazzaro. And what she said was, quit being so afraid of what others think of me. What others think of me. I am kind and I am unkind. I am respectful and I am disrespectful. My cup of tea, nor my cup of tea. All of it. What would it be like to be less afraid of what people think of me? I'm going to quit or rely less on the approval of others. Think more of anchoring my wholeness in the love of God. That my wholeness, my power, my worth, my value, my actions, my integrity is based and anchored in the light, power, and love of God, Creator, life, universal love, and etc. So what are the consequences of my dependency of what others think of me? Why do I rely on, or who do I rely on for my sense of self? Who do I rely on for my sense of okayness? Quit lying, which includes pretending to be fine when I'm not really fine. Quit pretending everything is okay when it's not, and do something to make it fine. Change what I can that would lead me in the direction of really being fine. This means living in honesty with ourselves first, with God and with others. Now, you may ask someone, this was very funny when she said this, I thought it was funny. Ask someone how they are doing and they say, it's good, it's all good. And she said, really? Then tell your face, because your face has not caught up with how good it is yet. I thought that was great. So fine really means frustrated, insecure, neurotic, and enraged. So what causes you and I to pretend in life? What causes you to pretend that you are fine? This is another one. Quit dying. Quit depleting yourself of the wrong things. Quit dying to things that drain your energy, that you do not really care about anymore, that do not interest you anymore. Quit doing things that are killing your spirit, your creativity. Anything that is a drain. Wake up during this time to let your life force and your energy be alive, not dying off your spirit. So what drains you? What action drains you? Social media, books, the news? Instead, what brings you life? What brings you joy? What inspires you? What enlivens you? Do more of that. Do more of that. Nurture the gifts God has given you to bless the world with. We each have them. I always say we can have this, I believe we all have the same purpose. Our purpose is to be the best version of ourselves. The way we do that is where we differentiate. The way we do that is with the gifts that we each have to bring to the world. Everybody's gift is different. Quit denying that you have anger, sadness, fear, or any of those difficult emotions that we don't want to deal with. Embrace God-given humanity, that we are divine and human in that divinity. Pay attention to, care for, and nurture with understanding these difficult emotions. Discerning how God's presence is here even in these difficult emotions. Use the presence of God in times like this. God uses these to reach us. Quit depressing, denying, suppressing these feelings. You know, I was just talking earlier about grief. You know, grief allows us, it's like our heart breaks open. Just like there's that, there's some kind of artwork where it's a Japanese, I think, and you break a vase and they put it back together with gold. And now not only is the vase more beautiful, but it's bigger. So as our heart breaks and we heal, our heart gets bigger. So that's what these emotions that are hard to deal with help us to grow and expand our heart. So what feelings do you commonly disregard or deny? What feelings do you disown or judge as negative and not allow them to be part of your spiritual practice? Another one, quit blaming, expecting that others are going to blame us. Brene Brown does a whole great little skit on blaming. Instead of giving away our personal freedom and power, quit blaming others and take responsibility for our own emotions, thoughts, consciousness, and soul's evolution. Accept others will still blame me, make me responsible, but I don't have to take on that responsibility. And then I have to look at, who do I blame? Who gets the brunt of my blaming? What it's like when others blame me, and what is the impact of displacing that blame? And what is the impact of taking on that blame? Usually an argument, but... So another one is quit over-functioning by taking on responsibilities that are not yours. That was another codependent thing that I did. And also my need to control, right? I just wanted it done my way, and so I would decide to take it on. And that's over-functioning. It doesn't allow anybody else to do what it is theirs to do. This is another good one. Quit faulty thinking. People should be kind. People should respect me. Traffic should flow. Choose to live in reality, life on life's terms. No more faulty thinking. Quit making assumptions that leave us powerless and unnecessary pain. It is our interpretations and expectations that create the pain and suffering. When we do this, when we stick with that faulty thinking, it's like, this is from Martha, it's not from me. Hi ho, off to hell I go, right? So when I think faulty thinking, I can be guaranteed that I'm going to suffer. So come back to reality. And remember that not everybody is going to think that respect looks the same way that I see respect. And I know for me, sometimes I'm just unconscious, you know? I mean, I could not hold the door open for somebody just because I'm on my own path and not seeing them there. Not that I disrespect them. So quit attempting to live someone else's life. This is a good one. Who and what pressures you to be something other than who you are? Who pressures you to do what the family always did, the traditions that always happened? Who wants for you what they want for themselves? Quit not being yourself. Take this opportunity of living from my own God-given, unique, unrepeatable talents and life. Wake up to my own gifts. Quit doing and being something God did not design me to be. To have gifts and share the gifts that God bestowed in me. Cultivating these gifts and have and shine your light. Versus being frustrated and ashamed and hard, making life hard. So finally, Myrtle Fillmore's quote. You have within you the God-given talent, the God-given gifts to create the life you desire. So get at it. So to summarize, what does this time of Lent look like for you? What is your true Lent? Are you going to plant seeds for renewal? Are you going to try and strike a balance? Are you going to do some fasting from different ways of thinking? Are you going to spend time in silence and devotion and contemplation and prayer? Think about what thoughts are limiting me. Take something on, let something go. Taking on any of these rituals that resonate with you is keeping a true Lent. I believe that we will all be headed toward our own resurrection. In fact, we will be living our fifth principle, which says, through thoughts, words, and actions, we live the truth we know, that we are one with God. I want to say thank you. I'm your sister companion in prayer, possibility, and power. I love you, I appreciate you, and I see you. And know that until we see each other again, that you are blessed and a blessing.